Hello and welcome to Drama Friday. But not only is it a Drama Friday, it's a birthday Drama Friday. It's my birthday, so I'm happy. How are you all? I hope you're well. I'm all dosed up because I've still got the ongoing tooth situation. So I thought, right, if I take all my pills and they all kick in at the right time, then I can go live for a little while and to just wait to be wished happy birthday by one and all, especially by Stardew and Boxy. Thank you very much, darling. I really appreciate it. I hope you're well. I hope you've had a good day. And we've got Bridge. Hey, Bridge. Hope you're well. Right, so let's put this up here. Guys, I've decided. I've decided what I want to do today. Right, hang on a minute. Let's sort myself out. Here we go. Here we go. Right. There's a few people that I feel need to be put in their place. And it's Drama Friday, birthday Drama Friday. So I'm going to do it on my birthday, guys. Do you know what? But first of all, let me tell you how my day went. I slept. Last night I slept. I did my 8 hours pain-free. Such a relief. So when I woke up, I was like, oh my God, it's gone. This pain's gone. So I thought maybe it was just like, an elderly glitch. Do you know what I mean? Like as you get older, things happen. And it's like, oh, maybe it was just like an elderly glitch thing. You know what I mean, don't you, Bridge? Because you're getting there, aren't you, darling?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Happy birthday. The last birthday that I celebrated, I was about 27 years old. I'm not going to say how long ago that was, but that's the last birthday that I celebrated.
Oh, you sound like a robot. Hang on, speak again. What's happened to your...
Oh, no.
Yeah, sort
Can you hear
yourself
me?
out. You're doing an Edna.
Okay, let me come back.
All right. Yeah, so anyway, let me tell you what I did. Right, listen, there was a reason I had 4 kids. It's because I get loads and loads of presents. Because my kids are just delightful. So I've been spoilt, guys. I got a new coat, which is, yeah, I love it. I got a pair of boots. Listen, I don't go for any old sort of... actually, let me think. I can send this over and I can show you what I got. Hang on one sec. Let's do that. Why didn't I think of this? Why am I not organised? I'm just rubbish. Rubbish at this. Right, here we go. Let's see. I'm not bad for an old bint on the old computer. Let's get that. Let's send it over and then I can show you. I know you're dying to see what the Kidley's got me. Here we go. Hopefully it'll send any minute now. Do you know what? My Mac is getting on a bit like me. It's like, are you having a laugh? You still expecting me to do this? And every so often it goes on strike. Says I'm not doing what you want me to do. So right, okay, it's on its way. It's on its way. So anyway, so I got a nice jacket. And what else did I get? I've got a handbag, and well, it's like a over the crossover sort of bag that goes over your chest. It lies very nicely between my ample bosom, and don't worry, I've not been drinking. It's just I'm happy because it's my birthday. Right, hang on a minute. Let's see if I can open this to show you. Here we go. I was going to sort of do this as a proper vid, but as we're live, I'll show you it. Hang on one sec. Here we go. Right. Come on, computer. I've been a good girl and it's my birthday. Don't let me down. Right, let's see if we can show this, shall we? Take that off for 1 second. While I'm doing this, I hope you're all well. What you been up to? Been up to any good? Right, where's that pic? Oh, there we go. Right, there we go. There's my jacket. Okay. And here she comes. Here comes trouble. Hey. Bridge.
Am I back?
Now I
Yes.
can't hear at all.
What?
Oh no, I've got you.
Okay. All right.
Right, so I'm just showing off my prezzies. All right.
Okay.
Right. So the daughter, one of the daughter, the eldest, said, Mum, I know you like your vouchers, because I do. She said, but I'm going to give you money instead. And then you can go where you want to go. So I said, all right, then let's go into this shop. So we did. And I got myself this jacket. I tell you
Nice.
what, you can't see inside it. It's all like that furry type. It is so nice. I'm like, oh my God, I'm liking this. So yeah, got myself that. Right. Okay, that's the end of that one. Let's see. Let me show you another one. I have to send that over. So what have you been up to today, Bridge? You had a good day?
Nothing. Yeah, I haven't done anything. Had my last class before
Oh,
the break, before the Thanksgiving break. So I'm off for the next
yeah.
week. So
So
I
you
am good.
so you have Thanksgiving. Is it the same day every year?
It's
You have
what I think it's the
Thanksgiving.
last Thursday of the month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Then I got these. Look at these. Bridge. I mean, really. Edna, where are you? Get your ass over here. Right, hang on a second. Oh, how do I show? Yeah, okay. So just show you're interested. All right. Right. Then I got these. Right. Pair of right, hang on, let's play that. Right, so they're the boots, and that's the bag that
Mm.
goes with the boots. Excuse
Mm-hmm.
me, do you mind? I
Mm.
mean, hello, hello. Yes, me likes that very much. Ah, ah. Right, so they're them, and I wore them. I said I'm going to wear them now because I don't go out very often, so I'm going to wear
Mm-hmm.
them on my actual birthday. Then the youngest son, for me. Right, well, you know the jacket. My youngest son bought that. He
Mm-hmm.
gave me the voucher for that. Right, hang on a second. Right, here we go. You're really glad you came on. I bet you were dying for me to come on, weren't you, Bridge? I bet you're
Oh
like, oh,
yes.
I hope Jan goes live. Right, hang on, let's open that again. Right, okay. Oh, we've sorted out Christmas just about, I think. I think we know what we're all doing. Right, okay. Let's present. Right, okay. This is what my youngest son bought me. Oh, I love it, you know. I love it when my kids are old enough to buy me gifts because it's
Mm-hmm.
just nice to see their taster is and you know, if they get it right. And he got it right. Look at this cushion. Look at
Nice.
this cushion. Okay. Now he bought me a box one year with very similar picture on it. But
Mm-hmm.
look at that cushion. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. And it's got little it's got little, well, they're meant to be diamonds, but they're not real diamonds. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, but I love it. So that's in its place at the moment on the sofa. And let me see. I bet you're really pleased about this. Uh, right, this is the last one. What the hell's that? Oh yeah. And then there's this. This is what the eldest son bought me. Right, okay. I haven't got the other what my other daughter bought me. Oh, she bought me loads of stuff. She's bought me like what do you call it? A journal, a new journal, because I like to journal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh let's do this. And oh, loads of other things. Here comes Edna. Edna, you have to sing happy birthday to me.
We all did it, Edna. I had to do my solo as well.
I'm just showing my gifts off Edna. She's still got she's got the microphone off, Bridge. She'll notice it in a minute. Right.
Oh,
So
relax. It took me a minute. Can you hear me
oh
now?
yeah, I can hear you. I could see you had the
Happy
mic off.
birthday to you. Huh?
Happy birthday to me.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday.
I
What
love
are you, like,
it.
35 today?
Yeah, 25.
25. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how I must have had my kids sort of in the womb. I think that's what happened with them. Right, and then I got this, which I put on, which is a cap my son bought me
Hmm.
because I love my caps. I've got loads of caps.
Aw.
I remember when you and Fedora did that cap off. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even show my caps. That was mainly hats, wasn't it?
That's yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got loads. I got flowers, and we had a nice meal together. We met in a big sort of shopping mall, and we had coffee to begin with, and we just chatting, and then we all went shopping, which was fun because there was
Yeah.
my 4 kids, one granddaughter, and one son's girlfriend. So how many
Hmm.
is that? 8. So can you imagine 8 people trying to go
7.
shopping together?
Are we including you? Wait, hold
Yeah.
on. 4 kids plus the girlfriend. That's 5. And then
Yeah,
6 is
the granddaughter.
the
Hmm.
granddaughter.
7.
Oh yeah, and
I
then
said
me,
7.
8. Is that right?
7.
7, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm no good at maths. I
Sorry, I
can't
would
do
be the one to
that.
derill us about the numbers.
I'm
Go ahead,
rubbish
Jen.
at maths. Anyway, so it was funny because what would happen is we'd all walk to one shop, and then a few of us would go in that one, and the rest of us would go somewhere else. And at one point, the boys gave up and just went and had
Uh-huh.
coffee, and that was after the meal. So yeah, it was quite funny, but it was good. I had a great day, and
What did you have?
we had a Chinese. We went to a Chinese
Oh,
place, and
that's what I had for dinner.
what did you have?
I had sesame chicken.
Oh,
Yeah, it comes
oh,
in a lunch platter, so it's the sesame chicken with broccoli, fried rice, and 2 gum, and a
that
fortune cookie.
that sounds really nice.
Bridge, you
So
remember that St. Louis hard fried rice?
Mm-mm. I don't.
No, okay, never mind.
so so this sesame chicken, right? Is it like pieces of chicken that are sort of coated in sesame seeds? Is it that?
Yeah. Well, it's okay, so this one is it's like fried chicken pieces coated
Right.
in the sauce, sprinkled with the seeds.
Hmm.
Oh, right. Okay. Do you girls like cooking?
No.
I I cook. I don't particularly like. I didn't eat for like all most of the day yesterday because I was like, I'm hungry, but I don't feel like cooking.
And that you did a live, didn't you? Where were you, Edna?
He was
Bridge did a
there.
live, and
There.
we were calling your name.
No, he
Oh,
was there.
no, yesterday I went to the library. Remember I sent
Yeah.
you my picture? It was basically art therapy.
Oh, I didn't know you did art therapy.
Well, I'm not officially, with like a licensed therapist, but like yeah. It was really funny
Oh,
because it's a series that they have, and I was waitlisted. And I snoozed the waitlist email. So, it popped up. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm good to go. No, that was my own email saying that I was signed up for the waitlist. And then later on, I got an email saying that I was actually off the waitlist, which meant I was registered for the
Mm.
event. But I just thought it was funny because, like, I had already prepared for it. I hadn't even gotten.
so Edna, bless her, sent me a picture, sent me a picture of her painting, and it
Uh-huh.
was lovely. Edna, I love the colours. I
Thank
loved
you.
I loved the background, worked really well with the colors. And yeah, I
It's
just
so
thought it was really
funny.
pretty.
Yeah,
Let
they I had no idea what, what the painting like, if we were kind of work with acrylics or what have you. It ended up being watercolor. And we were following this YouTube video and the woman was painting chickens. And I'm thinking to myself, chickens is got to be one of the most difficult animals to
Mm-hmm.
do, regardless of the
yeah,
medium, let alone watercolor.
yeah.
So
That would be
everybody in the
hard.
class is griping about it. And I said, nah, I'm not, I like flowers. So I ended up doing lavender.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was lovely. Really, really pretty. Um, so yeah, keep it up, girly. I've just remembered something. Do you know what? Right, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to be 2 seconds. Okay.
So anyway, I
You
a
can do that while
channel
I was talking. Go ahead. Yeah.
like I'm just filling the time, but a channel popped up in my recommendations yesterday because you talked about watercolor, and it was this lady. It was like life over 50 or navigating 50s
Oh,
or something like
yeah.
that, and she does like kind of like meditation videos, inspiration, but she does a lot of paint too. And she was talking about like I don't know what it was called. It was like was it Groach or Grotch? I think Jam would probably know. It was kind of like
Hmm.
watercolor, but it's she said it was more easy to like manipulate than watercolor because you know how watercolor always runs and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How did you
Yeah.
spell it? Grauche?
Ugh, I don't know because I had
Oh,
looked it up.
oh,
Gouch. Is it
Gouch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Gouch. Gouache.
Oh, right. Do you know what? I'm not even sure. Is that oil? That's not oils, is it?
They said it's like water. It's like watercolor, but I think it's a little bit thicker than
Oh,
watercolor.
okay. Okay, yeah. So it could be like a cross between watercolors and acrylics, could it?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like finding channels like that. And do you know what? Don't laugh, but that was the first time that I found Just Breathing because she used to do painting. She used to do
Oh,
painting on a Wednesday.
Get out of
I'm
here.
serious. And I found her and I started watching because she didn't used to talk about the drama or
hmm.
anything.
Really?
And
Yeah.
and I continued watching because I couldn't believe how bad she was. So I used to give her some tips. I I sort of introduced myself after a while, right? I said, "Oh, hi, I'm an artist, blah blah blah," and she's like, "Oh, Jan," and blah blah. Anyway, so I try and give her tips, but she was just so bad, girls. It was like,
Oh, wow. It's a
oh
small world.
Lord, and she used to paint. I mean, it's something that you just wouldn't do, but she'd have like a
Mhm.
canvas, but on her lap. And she'd have this
Uh-huh.
canvas on her lap and then be dipping the paintbrush in and had no sort of control over the paintbrush. And I'd be like, try and sort of just don't add too much paint. You don't have to, to pile
You
on
know
the paint.
what? Yeah, the thing is, Jen, people are like, oh, everyone's an artist. Just go out, buy the supplies, and make the
Yeah.
art.
Mm,
And it's like for some people, yeah, maybe that works. They can just like practice and teach themselves how to draw or what have you. But like
yeah,
the way my brain works is very like analytical or logical or whatever. So it's like I need to know the technique of how to put paint on the brush or like it's like how to map out a picture in the grid to know like the proportions of a body
Mm-hmm.
that you don't have, you know what I mean? Like, and she probably doesn't have that kind of technical training.
yeah. No, she had no training whatsoever. But I I was never rude. I thought, "Oh, bless her, she's having a go." But,
Mhm.
it was just, just the fact that she wasn't even prepared in as much as she didn't have somewhere to paint. I mean, as an artist, and I painted loads of pictures, hundreds
Mhm.
of pictures.
Mhm.
I would never just get a paint by the side of me and paint on my lap. You just don't
Right.
do that. But
Right.
yeah,
That's
so
I don't know. Maybe that's what that doesn't sound crazy.
I know. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you, right, one of the blessings, or I always say, I'm so blessed with my kids. You know, they accept me for who I am. Yeah, we do have our, you know, situations sometimes. But that's normally just with one of them. But anyway, that's by the by. We're all okay. We're all okay. We had all four of us there, Bridge, today.
Mhm.
And you know what? It was fabulous. It
Nice.
was really nice to just get along, you know.
Mhm.
Things got a bit tetchy when we started talking about woke. Now, my
Oh,
perception of being woke was different to some of my kids' perceptions. We could
Okay.
discuss that
o-
in a minute, but first, I want to
okay.
show off. I just want to show off and just read what my son, my youngest boy, whose girlfriend is an artist, she's fantastic. But of course, I can't tell you or show you any of her work because I will not have the haters going for her. Okay.
Mhm.
So anyway, so she's drawn this amazing picture of my son with me looking up at him, right? She's obviously got it from a photo. I know which photo it is. I look ghastly in it, I have to say. And when I first saw it, I went, "Oh God, look at the state of me." That was the first thing I said. But she actually
Jen,
painted.
that's such a mom response.
Mm,
Like nobody cares but you.
I
Yeah.
know. So she has taken the time, and maybe I will show you two girls because I know I can trust you.
Mhm.
Um, but it touched my heart. I nearly cried. And I said to her afterwards, I said, "Do you know what? I nearly cried." I said,
Mhm.
because on top of the picture, my son has written something, and he's put, it's called Everything You Do. So he put, "Everything you do, loving me very much. Through growing pains, my emotional crutch. Always there through rain and shine. Never has there been one as good as mine. My mother's love, so warm and pure. Whatever I need, my ailments you cure. For so many years, us against the world, our bond so tight, never broken or unfurled. You taught me love, and I feel it every day. There's only one thing that's left to say. For being my inspiration, thank you. I love you, Mum, and everything you do."
Aw.
That's
Aw.
right. It's just, yeah,
It's wonderful.
isn't it? I was like, that is just incredible. And I've got all teary now. So
Aw.
I know, I just thought, yeah, and that's another thing. It's like you were saying, Bridge, you know, getting
Mhm.
back to the shit that, you know, we deal with on here.
Mhm.
You never know what people are going through in their lives.
Right.
And that's why, for me, the most important thing is to show compassion to anybody
Mhm.
unless they show that they're pieces of shit,
Mhm.
you know? And I don't know if you saw Bridget's video, Edna, did you? But she was going over kind
She
of
was there for a while.
working.
She was there for a while. Yeah, it was.
Did Edna turn up?
I don't know why Jen
Yeah.
always who's doing the smoking over here, Jen? Because you swear
Right,
I'm
for
never around.
real. Because Edna said that she was heading out. She's like, I'm on my way out. She was like, I'm going to the library.
Oh yes. Oh, sorry. I've got 1 year older. I've got 1 year older. The brain cells are dying fast, I'm telling you. Hi, Tasha and Kimberlina. Thank you very much. Anyway, so I thought, right, what can we do? What can we do? I want to start being mean now after reading that lovely poem from my son, right?
I want to know what what
Oh
the
yeah,
definition of woke is.
woke. Listen,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Now, my definition of woke has always been that it's somebody that's aware of everything that's around them, somebody that knows things. And what happened is my granddaughter, who's 15,
Mhm.
just 15, she's anyway, very intelligent girl, and she was saying something, and I said to her, oh, I said, you're so woke, and she said, no, I'm not. So I
Mm.
said, oh, okay. I said, I suppose it depends what the different definition of woke is. And then we had this group discussion, right?
Mhm.
And I was amazed at what they thought. Most of them thought differently to what I thought, because
Mhm.
I honestly thought it was like being aware of different types of people, different religions, different lifestyles. That's what I thought being woke was.
Hmm.
And then my son, my eldest boy, said, "No, Mum, I think it means that it's very sort of left wing. You
Mm.
know, if somebody's woke, they're normally left wing." And I thought, I didn't even know politics came into it. So I had to
Okay.
listen to my kid. I had to be
Mhm.
educated by my kids. So,
Mm.
girls, I want you to
Oh,
give me your um examples of being woke.
Uh, woke
we,
originated
we,
with the black culture.
Oh, right. Okay. What is that American black culture though?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
so
It originated.
my
What?
my thing is people think of woke, I think, like at a very surface level, it's like acknowledging everyone's differences. But I think like when you really get deep into it, it's like you're looking at the patriarchy and how like these different
Mm-hmm.
systems of religion and race and all kind of stuff layer upon each other and create these like just systems of oppression where it's like we're gaslit to that there aren't even systems, let alone no, that we're not even oppressed, let alone systems and all of that. So, it's a lot to it. But when I think of wokeness, I think of that, not necessarily political ideas.
Yeah, I think it was hijacked politically, because like stay woke, I believe started with like being aware of social injustices, being aware of racism,
Hmm.
being aware of inequalities and stuff like that. And it was kind of hijacked by the political system and like the right wing basically saying it's a bad thing and turned it into something else.
Right.
Which I don't
Okay.
understand.
Yeah, I think my son was getting at that. He said,
Hmm.
I think it was him, but he said the thing is if you call someone woke, then it's seen as a negative. And I was
Yep.
like, "Oh my God, I didn't mean to, I wasn't calling my granddaughter. I wasn't trying to say it in a negative way.
Right.
I was
Right.
trying to
Well, no,
say that."
because you're seen as a bummer, though. That's what it is. It's like, you know how Bali is, where it's like, don't remind me of the racism. I
Right.
think that's how the people take it.
Yep. Yep. Because it's not supposed to be negative. It is supposed to be a positive thing.
Right now, what
Right.
Tulane has said here, this is what my son said to me. The term has recently been co-opted by right wing to mean something negative.
Hmm.
That's what my son said. But you know what? It was fascinating to hear them all say different things, because my eldest girl, she was like, "Oh no, it means this, that, and the other." And she's very, what's the word? Right, I'll put it this way. Both my girls are politically very opposite.
Hmm.
And so we had to be careful. I thought, oh, this is great. We're going to have a big family bust up over over
Oh my
blooming politics
goodness.
now. because they are very different, and I'm aware of their differences. But I think I probably have seen it as, like you said, Edna, on a very sort of, what's the word? Not superficial, but on a certain level that I haven't gone that deeply into it.
Hmm.
And I didn't realize that it was seen in such a negative light. So, Bridge,
Yeah.
you started off by saying that it was like from the Black American culture. So, w- if it came from there initially, what was the meaning of it then? What did they mean by it?
It,
If
it
they,
was just basically stay aware, I mean, because there was segregation and everything, people were
yeah,
getting killed. Stay woke, keep your eyes open.
right.
There's danger everywhere, and be aware of your surroundings. You
That
know,
Yeah. Like,
that's what I
be
thought it was.
aware of how they're getting you. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like,
yeah.
Yeah,
I can't think of a conspiracy theory off the top of my head, but it's like, you know how you see these medical studies that I was in, I think her name is Kimikaze, in her stream, and we were watching like how the CIA was conducting these studies or funding these studies, having them conducted by these researchers, giving people LSD and doing really unethical things like today they wouldn't fly, but or probably wouldn't fly back then, but they didn't notify people, like they weren't aware.
Or like the Tuskegee experiment that the government
That's
did.
like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
so, would you say, like, I mean, I've heard of the anti woke people. So, would they be right wingers
Probably, yeah.
attacking people that are too woke, and
Hmm.
insisting on, everybody should accept this,
Hmm.
because we're all woke.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well, 'cause
look,
I think they're the
Tasha's
ones
saying
that are
she
like,
thought it was
who cares
something
about the
different.
sorry.
That's all right. I'm just saying, Tasha says she thought it was something completely different. Tell
Mm.
us what you thought it was, Tasha.
Oh, there
Okay.
she is.
I thought it meant like waking up and like being aware you are actually alive, and so are others. Yeah. See, I'm like that. I'm like that. And I
Yeah,
think,
no, I
yeah.
was just gonna say that's when I think ultimately that's what I think it means. Like you'll get to that level where you realize like people are able to like not treat each other fairly and all this kind of stuff and don't
Mm.
see a problem with it because you don't see the other person as human or as same as you.
Yeah. See, I thought, because, and then we touched on homosexuality, and um we've got members in the family, and so we started talking about that, and one of the daughters was saying one thing and the other daughter was saying the complete opposite and getting quite fiery about it, and I was like, oh dear, maybe we'll
What
change
was
this
the
because it's mummy's
issue?
birthday. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, I think,
Are they like anti-gay marriage or something? Like
no, no,
I
no,
don't get
no,
what the
no,
problem could. Oh,
no.
okay. I don't get it.
No, it's that one of them is very, oh, I don't know how to put it now because I think I've been using woke the wrong way. But one of them is like, and I don't want to like sell my kids down the river. Do you know what I mean? Oh, sorry, girls. Um, but no, one of them is swings a bit to the right, put it that way, and the other one is more liberal, put it that
Hmm.
way. So, and in
Mm.
those differences, yeah, there's going to be clashes, and it's not, none of my girls would not accept or do not accept that there are different people, and different cultures, and people have the right to live the way they want to be. They both agree with that. We all do as a family. But I
But I
think,
think right what is it? The right side doesn't really believe that though, Jan. Like they literally vote to take away people's rights. And that's the issue.
Not always. I think maybe the far right do, but I think maybe right leaning. I don't think they do.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to put it this way: the right leaning one said, "Look, I don't have a problem with what people do or how they want to be, but there are certain aspects that I don't agree with." And that was sort of around the gender, the gender identity thing. And yeah, that's what it was about. It's not about, homosexuality or that. It's more about gender and gender identity. So yeah, we had quite a good discussion on that. I mean, I've told you the story of, like, one of my son's girlfriend has got a what do you call it? Not fluid. What's the other one? What's the other
Oh,
one?
like gender neutral.
Yeah, gender fluid or whatever. I
Mhm.
always forget when they
Oh,
say.
non-binary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
non-binary. That's it. So one of my son's girlfriends has got a non-binary friend, and whenever, sometimes he'll say, "Oh, we're going over to so and so's place," and I'll say, "Oh, well, that's good," and he'll say, "Yeah, they're going to be doing this, or and I'm like, "Oh, so how many of them? How many of them are going?" And he's like, "No, it's
Right.
the one. It's there, Mum. They're not non-binary." So it
Mhm.
takes some getting used to, but I because I don't want to offend anyone, I like to sort of try and, well, I do. I respect them, and I think by doing that, I was thinking that makes me woke. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, yeah, Stardew, exactly. And I thought, because I was aware of other people's feelings, etc., I thought that made me woke, but it turns out that it
I
doesn't.
would agree. No, I would agree that it does, but I feel like that's just kind of scratching the surface of it.
Yeah,
Okay, this is what I looked it up. This is what Erica Badu says. Okay, because she's very woke. She's very spiritual. She's very into everything natural.
Sensitive.
Yes, she
Hmm.
says, I can tell you what woke means. She said, it just means being aware, being in an alignment with nature, because if you're aligned with that, you're aware of everything that's going on. It's not only in the political arena, that means with your health. That means with your relationships. That means with your home. That means with your car. That means with your sleep. So basically, being aware of everything around you.
yeah.
It's a scary state though, because when you're like faced with reality, you be like, damn,
Mhm.
give me some delusion.
I think it's a shame. It's a really good conversation to have.
Mhm.
And I think it's a shame that it's been politicalized, if that's such a word, that
Mhm.
it's been made to be so political. It's like the left versus the right. And I don't know. I think that's a shame. And it's a very powerful word if it's used in that
Yeah,
context.
Like I would say that, like, the civil rights movement in America, like in the 1960s, and people were fighting for equality and things like that, Martin Luther King, or even Malcolm X as well, recognizing the injustices that are done. I said I would think that those people were woke.
yeah. I mean, and like when you really think about it, any revolutionary would be
Mm-hmm.
woke.
Mm-hmm. Black Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a stupid woman, but I still sort of struggle with what it actually means. And I said something today, and my daughter, one of them, was like, "Oh, Mum, how can you say that?" And she said, and then she was like, "So you don't think that they should be shown?" What I said was, right, this is probably going to get me into trouble, but what I
Oh, I
said
love
was,
it.
I've noticed that on every advert, right, there's always a black person on there, right?
Mhm.
Now, I don't mind that, obviously. I don't mind that. But I wonder, what I don't like is that I feel that it's tokenism. And
Okay.
I
Right.
don't like that.
Hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's just
She,
they're doing
Yeah.
it just for the representation. There's
yeah,
no, yeah. Hmm.
yes, she
Yeah.
didn't get it. She jumped down my throat. And for those listening, that was my blonde, blue-eyed daughter, right? She jumped down my throat. Mother, are you saying that there's too many, black people on the TV and blah? I said, no, I'm not saying that. But I think possibly because I come from a different generation, I find it. Do I find it uncomfortable? I suppose deep down, I find it un uncomfortable because it's like, you see three people sat on a sofa watching the TV, and there's a white person, there's maybe,
Hmm.
a blonde, and then you've got a black person or a mixed race, and then you've
Hmm.
got a Chinese, and I'm like, I don't know, this doesn't seem it's not. I don't want to say it doesn't seem comfortable to me because I want that. I want that
Hmm.
representation, but I don't like to feel that it's all done
But
for.
Jen, I feel like that was literally me in college where like one of my apartments, okay, yeah, so it was me, black woman. There was an Asian woman, like East Asian, and it was a white woman. Like, you know what I mean? So it
It was
happens. It's
it. I think what it is it basically it feels like they're trying to fill a quota.
Yes,
We got to get a black person.
yeah.
Let's just put this black person in right here. You
yes,
know.
and
I
it's
get what
like,
you're saying, but I just don't necessarily think that's the case. I feel like we've gotten to the point where we're there,
oh,
you know.
Stardew is
Well,
brilliant. She
Edna,
knows what
did
I'm
your
saying. She knows, or they
Edna?
know. I am sorry. I don't want to misgender you, but you are so on point there. And I couldn't get that across to my daughter, who's very fiery. We're very similar. And she was getting really upset because she's like, Mum, how can you say that when, we've fought, black women have fought for years. And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I don't want to be, you know, it's like it's being forced. Oh, we've got to have a black person on there. It's like nearly every family on an advert now is a mixed race family.
My dad said that. My dad said that a long time ago, maybe 10, maybe 15 years ago. He was like, God damn, I'm
Mhm.
tired of turning on TV and seeing these commercials and all these like mixed race couples with they mixed babies. He was like, what the hell is going on here?
I know, I know.
But I
I
wanted to
know.
ask Edna, because she was talking about her roommates. Was this in college and like were your roommates assigned to you?
Right, they were randomly assigned.
Mm,
Were they really random? Because I'm
good
thinking of
point.
I'm thinking of my college experience when I lived in the student apartments, and I had a one girl was from
Okay,
like
yeah.
Belize. One,
Well, we was all colored. Yeah.
yeah.
Listen, we're
What?
not gonna get
Listen,
into
no,
that. Well, no,
no,
no, no,
because
no.
I'm saying
Actually, we weren't. This was really random because because I was gonna say they did section it off by like nationalities, like at some points, but no, because I'm black, she's white, we were both American. The other girl was Asian,
let
so
me tell
from
you
Asia.
when oh, that shit was not random. When I was in college, my freshman year, it was me. It was an American Asian girl, Asian American girl, and then it was like this foreign exchange student from like Brazil. I don't think like, and they said it was like okay, it was by your what is it, your major or whatever. But
Mm,
I think that it went a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah. No,
mm.
I hear what you're saying, but I do think that it does happen organically as well. Like it's not organic in a sense that us,
I don't think it would.
just
I'm
randomly
sorry.
needed to
The
live.
Not from what I
the
know of
only place
America.
No, the only place that I've actually lived where I feel like that could happen organically is in the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area, because there it did happen. Like everybody was kind of just together. You like have an Asian, a Black person, a Mexican person, or a white person. Like everybody was just together. Every
Yeah.
other place that I've lived or visited, everybody is kind of separate. You kind of stick with your own kind.
But that's
Mm.
what I'm saying. I'm not like that person. I go try and look at different things. So I might be the only Black person. Like, especially I went to school with predominantly white people. So it
Well,
was
then,
like,
yeah, and so you're
yeah, go
basically,
ahead.
and you are agreeing that it really does not happen organically because you'll be the only Black person. I've been in that situation as well, where I'm the only Black person. Yeah, you will go out of your area and your people, but you're going
But
into
that's like,
their
how deep
space.
do you want to get into it? Because am I being programmed to want to be with other people, or am I deprogramming myself by not wanting
Yeah,
to do
I
what
don't
I
think it's
believe
about
I
being
should be doing?
programmed. I think it's about being aware or being
and
woke
being
of
open.
what happens with
Yeah.
students to enforce that segregation.
Mhm.
That's what I
I mean,
think it is.
I think for you, Edna, because I do the same thing myself, where I'll be the only person of my race there or my ethnicity there. It's about being open to others and being open to new experiences or being open to other experiences. And I don't think a lot of people are
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
No.
Hi, Kalari, and thanks very much. Also, for being a member and for wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you,
I
darling. I hope you're well.
I was thinking about Kalari today. I was like, you know what? I was like, I should tell Kalari, Kalari, cancel your membership with me because I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing anything on member stuff.
Yeah, but I don't do it either. I'm waiting to get a few more and then do,
Yeah.
members only stuff. But yeah, I don't do it either.
Yeah. I was like, let me have Kalari stop wasting her money. Dang. But
Oh,
if
bless
you want to
her.
keep on giving you a couple of dollars to me, that's all right.
That's
Oh,
what I feel like. Memberships in Girl World aren't really like for the perks, it's for the support of the creator.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, if I had more members, then I think I would definitely do like even if it's just once a month,
Yeah.
just do a members only thing. Um, so I just feel that we're obliged to
But
do it.
Jen,
If
what
people
about if you could
say
just
so.
reach out and touch the heart of one person? Wouldn't that
True.
make it worth it?
True.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
so okay. So Kalari says she entered her a ton of other subs. Should I up my price so you can give me some more money?
Mm-mm.
Don't you come on panel begging, Bridge. For goodness sake, just stop it. I won't have it. Okay. But I want to finish this conversation. It's a good conversation. I don't know why we always get down to race. What's wrong with us? We're always talking
Because we
about
too
race.
woke.
Mm-mm.
We're woke. We're too woke.
That's what it is. Anyway,
The
but
thing is,
I'm telling you, I had to
how
calm my
race
daughter
can
down.
affect many things,
You
and
are?
don't have to consider. I said the thing is, we see how race can affect many things, and
Hmm.
we don't have to consider race feels like no, because I deal with this or that or whatever the case may be. But it's like you don't deal with it on the same level that we deal with it. It's like, yeah, everybody has an uncomfortable time giving birth to, because it's painful X, Y, and Z. But it's like the Black maternal death rates or is what's out of proportion to everybody else. And it's like, what do you like? How do you equate for that?
Mm, right, hang on a minute. Kalari says I legit had a woman mad at my black Betty Boop shirt on Twitter. I just called her Clanny and kept it pushing. uh, Betty Boop was black, was she?
She was
Like
based.
by the
She
one
was
drop rule.
Well,
Ah,
she was based on a black woman. It was a vaudeville performer that was black, and the character Betty Boop was based on her, but they made her white. Let me tell you, I had a bag that had
ah.
a picture of Betty Boop on it, and I went and I colored the Betty Boop black. Like, I took a little brown marker and I colored her
Good for
black.
you. Good for you, girlie. And getting back to what I was saying, I don't know how much you heard, Kalari, but I was talking with my adult kids today, and we sort of really got into it about what woke means. And I said to my daughter, because she was like, she was getting a bit hot under the collar because she's very, very. And now I don't even know whether I should call her woke or not. I don't think I should. But anyway, but I remember I said to her, the thing is, I said, it's not that I don't want to see black people on the TV. Of course I do. But I don't want to see, tokens. I don't want to see tokenism, oh, yeah. And at one point she said, oh, so do you want to just see white families on there? I was like, no, of course I don't.
Well, that's
But I
so,
think
Jan. I think so. What do you think the solution is?
um I just think it should be more leveled out. Just don't make it every bloody advert that they've got to
Mm,
have, a mixed couple, because that's not what life is. We're not at that point yet. And I said to her,
Mhm.
and then I started sort of saying a bit more about, you know, the thing is, because of the way I've been brought up and, I've lived that much longer than them, I can see that Britain is systematically racist. Okay. So until
Mhm.
we get the black people in the top, in the top jobs, then I'll feel a lot happier. Do you know what I'm saying? And I
mhm.
Well,
said,
even
and she's
in
like, well, what do you mean by
yeah,
that? I said,
'cause
well, you look,
I mean, take the U.S. with Barack Obama, right? It's like immediately we got Trump, and then you have
Mm.
what's her name, Kamala in the mix, and they're like, "Oh, well, we'll just bring Trump back," and it's like,
Yeah,
what? It's just
yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, you
yeah.
could
Oh,
look at
but
it like
Kalari is
that.
popping in the chat as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna get back to that. Yeah, so I then said, I am gonna get to your comment, Kalari. I said, look at what they did to Megan.
Yeah,
And
true.
then my son said, and I said, and then one of them said, yeah, but mom, it might not have had anything to do with the color of her skin. Maybe they
Yeah,
just
right.
didn't like Megan. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but as somebody who has spent, centuries,
Mhm,
decades living in a racist country, I
mhm.
know why that royal family didn't accept her.
Mhm, mhm,
You
and
know,
like, the bottom line, I think it had to do with her race, but
yes,
they found another excuse to blame it on. Like,
yes.
"Oh, no, she's too
Yeah.
outspoken."
Hmm. But then one of the kids said, but you have to look at it. Maybe, they didn't really like Sarah Ferguson either. And I said,
Okay.
that's true. And they didn't like Diana.
Mhm,
That's true. But they didn't get the racism. And what I said to him was, but although the public didn't, some of them didn't like those two people, they didn't get the racism that Megan got.
mhm, mhm.
It was an interesting conversation. I enjoyed it. So Kalari says, for me, woke was always used to keep a lookout when traveling. Okay.
Mhm,
Keeping aware of where we could be safe. Then it morphed into not dehumanizing everyone else. Yes. That's what my
Mhm.
that's what my daughter said. It's about, because people do dehumanize people. But bigots twisted things in video games now that allow people of our skin tone. It's called pandering to woke. Guess we don't play video games.
mm.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
and see, that's the thing where it's hard to draw the line on what's too woke.
I
Because it's like
know.
what's for us to say, like it's easy for, us to say like being what is it, cisgendered is, like this the gender whatever questions is too much. But if we felt that way, we wouldn't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like if we question our gender, we wouldn't be so like black and white with it. Just in theory.
Yeah. See, one of mine, and I'm not going to say which one, said, "Well, I only see two genders,"
Mm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I think there are only two genders, and but then the argument to that was, well, what about the people that are born with both parts,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
as it were,
Mm-hmm.
true.
and so we were sort of saying, well, yeah, but that's very rare. That's like a what's the word when something goes like really wrong? I've forgotten the word, and I'm so worried about offending people now.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
um, it is very rare for a baby to be born with both genitalia, and for the doctors to have to decide which
I don't
gender
know.
that child's going to live with.
I
But it does
wonder how
happen.
rare those situations really are, though, Jan. I feel like,
Yeah,
like, because when we look at social media and like all the different stories that come about, it's like with the whole abortion argument. It's like I've learned recently that lots of situations are medically considered abortions that, when you think about an abortion, isn't the
Mm-hmm.
case. And I think maybe that could be the same thing when it comes to gender like what I personally, I think there's two sex, right? We have male
Mm-hmm.
and female.
yeah.
Nobody's talked about an official sex for intersex people or what have you. I guess others are intersex. But when it comes to gender, I think that's the like social expression
Mm-hmm.
of male and femaleness. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that varies across cultures and,
Yep.
and
Well, maybe
individuals.
do you think that maybe they use the wrong word then? Because gender to me is the same. Oh, I don't know. Let me
That's
think.
what I'm saying. I think
Gender is the same
that
as
it's
sex,
not the
isn't
same,
it?
but that's what we think, right?
Yeah,
But it's
it's
not.
not the same. Yeah, it's not like gender, like just like I guess just like race is like a social construct. Like
Mm,
either you fall into the woman role or you fall into the man role. But
yeah.
gender is not the same as sex.
Oh, okay, so in that case, there is more than two genders then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting. I've learnt something. And I like to learn from my kids as well. I'm lucky they're all intelligent, and it was good that we were able to have these conversation, and it's kind of exciting for me to hear them,
Yeah.
have these open arguments and open
Mm-hmm.
not arguments, debates. And my 15-year-old granddaughter is right in the middle there and, saying her bit and what she believes and this, that, and the other. And yeah,
Did
it's
you
it's it's a nice
did you
situation to be
imagine
in.
these conversations or these situations when they were young or when you were pregnant with them?
No, no. I mean, I've always brought them up. I've always brought them up. One of the things that I was taught from a very early age and that I've stuck with is you never mock the afflicted.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yes.
why I always had an issue, and I still have an issue with those creators that mock people who are quite obviously, mentally challenged,
That's
or,
no, that's the
they
thing.
live with
Peop-
mental illness. I
People
can't
deny it.
stand it.
They
Sorry?
deny it and they gaslight it so much though, Jan. They, it blows my mind because it's like,
Who
how on
denies
one
it?
hand are you making, huh?
Who denies it?
The
like as a
creators.
society,
Mhm.
lots of people look at these quote unquote cows and they don't see them as mentally or just disabled people,
Let me
mentally
tell
ill
you,
people.
today I was talking about that little cat situation with Amber, and I brought it up with my dad, and I was like, okay, I was like, let me describe the situation. I was like, it's this 500, almost 600 pound lady. I said she meets people online, like to be her
I
girlfriend, her
stopped you right
girlfriend.
there.
I said she has moved from states to go move with women that she's fallen in love with to
Mm.
to be with and stuff. And his response was, "Oh, like I hadn't even got to the cat part yet, but he was like, he was like, oh, she's crazy. She's crazy." I said, "Well, she is 500 pounds, so of course something has to be going on with her because
Right.
basically she's eating herself to death. So yeah, something's going on with her."
Is that what you believe then? Do you believe that every obese person has mental illness?
Unless it's like like a medical, like she is morbidly obese, like she's
Yeah.
I
morbidly
think
obese,
to a
500
certain
pounds.
extent, yes.
Yeah.
Because you're
Mm.
stimming or you're like soothing yourself with the food. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand what it meant to emotionally eat for years. And it's like now I lost the weight and like I can't even eat the same way. I don't get the same enjoyment or whatever. Now I get, oh, I was definitely emotionally eating. And
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is, it's like somebody like Amber, she's not clicking, it's not clicking in her brain that she's even as sick as she is. She thinks
I mean,
she's like taking a break from a diet. She's not even dieting. It's like I'm sorry.
I mean,
I feel like I fizzle out when I think about her because it's like, girl, you're talking about a cat being lost and you're 600 pounds.
mhm. Yeah. But even looking at Amber Lynn's life and the environment that she basically grew up in, and the few stories that I've heard of her living in foster care and hoarding food and stuff like that because of maybe food insecurity, the girl got some issues that are deep seated, like from childhood. So she got issues.
Yeah. See, I struggle with that. Why do I not recognize it as that then? I don't understand.
Hmm.
Because I think for
Maybe.
everybody, it doesn't have the same level of, it's not as big of an issue. Like alcohol, for instance. You have some people, they just have a drink every night after work to, decompress. They're good to go. You have other people that are full-blown alcoholics and they
Hmm.
can't get through the day without drinking a bottle.
Right.
I think it's like the same thing with food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we've had that discussion before, about alcoholism and how I don't see it as a disease. I've never seen it as a disease because I've
Yeah.
seen disease and, and experienced how it just devastates the whole family. And I just don't see alcoholism as being a disease because I think it's self-inflicted. Now, you can't self-inflict yourself with something like cancer, so in my mind, I just find that really difficult to even equate the two.
But
Uh,
one of the things you said
I
too
don't
is that it devastates the whole family and it affects the whole family.
yeah,
Alcoholism can affect an entire family.
Absolutely.
yeah,
And I was gonna say people don't look because I would say alcoholism it probably falls under, I think being neurodiverse is like being more prone to addiction, dealing with whatever.
Mm,
So I think if you think like it's like we haven't looked at the physical um manifestations of these diseases. People, like we're barely getting to the point of recognizing alcoholism and different things as diseases and not just character flaws.
mhm.
yeah. I mean, maybe that's my issue. Maybe I do look at it as a character flaw. Whereas like mental illness that, I'm quite sort of passionate about for obvious reasons, um, I just see differently. But then I know that mental illness, well, I was gonna say generally comes on and it's dependent on what's happened in that person's life. I mean, can somebody be actually born? I'm speaking. I'm thinking aloud. Can somebody be actually born with a mental illness? Can they
No,
be born bipolar?
I think people are born like this, like predisposition to it. Like maybe if you're
Hmm.
neurodiverse, that's
Yeah,
gonna make you more prone to being rejected, which leads to trauma, which leads to developing these disorders. I think that's how it works. Like if we
yeah,
had a different society, a different system, like just think of like just how we had so much more community decades before, where we didn't have to rely on things like therapy as much because we had our friends and elders to help.
I
yeah.
think
But
it
then
goes.
back in the day, they used to treat mentally ill people terribly. They just
Mm-hmm,
locked
mm-hmm.
them up in, like, a mental institution, and were just treated terribly. So
Yeah.
I don't think, I think each case is very different, but I think as a whole, mentally ill people were seen as people to be actually quite scared of.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think in this woke society, dare I say, I think at least people are more accepting,
People
maybe,
are
of.
realizing that anybody can be crazy. It's like we're all the same. So if it's like
Mm,
if you put stress on a human being, you're gonna get crazy. You're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
illness.
yeah,
So, so I think we got to the point, like especially like post the pandemic, where everybody got a touch of mental illness. Now everybody's a bit more woke in that sense because they can recognize what it is.
yeah. And also, I think there's more names for them. I know it sounds silly, but I wonder if, back in the day, they didn't have as many
Oh
names
yeah,
for
definitely.
things, you know.
Definitely. Because I saw a post on Twitter or tweet where somebody is saying like, don't you think it's weird that all these people are being are all these people are autistic now? And I'm just like, do you mean they're being diagnosed with autism? Because they weren't being diagnosed before.
Yeah,
Not only that, but it's like you gotta realize our world has really changed in the past like 20 years. Where like I remember for the longest time I didn't have a smartphone. You know what I mean? And now it's like if I didn't have my smartphone, I don't know what I would do.
yeah,
Like I would not be able to get around anywhere because I use Google Maps. I would not be able to go anywhere because I wouldn't know where
My
anything
bus
is.
fare is on it. Yeah, it's like your wallet's on there, everything.
Uh-huh.
yeah. I know everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
insane. I mean, I never take cash out with me. I've never
Yeah.
got cash.
Yeah.
I've never got my bank card with me. Everything is on my phone.
Look, I found $5 on the ground a couple of weeks ago. That $5 has been sitting in my wallet. I have not spent that $5 because I don't use cash.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, nobody like I don't know anybody that uses cash like
yeah. I
regularly.
don't. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was in the shop the other day, yesterday, and somebody said, "Oh, do you mind if I pay with cash?" And I was like, "What? Why would they mind if you pay with cash?" But I can't remember the last time I had a note in my hand to pay. I just don't pay with cash
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
I was
interesting.
like, wait, I use cash. What do I use it for? And
Oh.
it's like
It,
going to the
Oh, do
dispensary.
you? Of
It's
course
cheap.
Edna does.
They
oh.
charge
Midge,
you.
of course Edna does.
No, she's talking about buying some weed.
They charge you extra to use like their ATM. It's like your ATM. It's a whole scam with the banks. They charge you, then I feel like the state gets an extra tax cut, and then the other ATM
Yeah.
charges you. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know, but yeah. It's funny because it used to be, I don't know whether it's the same nowadays, but it used to be like the older you got, the less that you trusted the banks. And I don't know
Mm.
if that's the same nowadays. What's your dad like, Bridge? Does he trust banks?
Um, Does he? I guess he does, because he's like, I gotta go to the bank. Like he's the type of person that uses cash. He still writes checks because I'll call him up like on the weekend. Oh, I'm doing my bills. I gotta pay my bills. I'm writing out these checks. I'm just like, pay it online.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong?
Oh dear. Do you know,
But
I've
just
got,
imagine when we go to like a new payment system with like crypto and we're all
Yeah.
using like apps on our phone and you're still trying to use the website. And you're like, the website's down. Everybody's gonna be like, okay, boomer, or whatever.
don't talk to
That's
me
the
about
app.
crypto. I got bloody, I told you guys, didn't I? I
Oh
got,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I lost bloody 200 quid. Bastards.
Wait, what
Anyway,
happened?
I got
She got
scammed.
scammed. Yeah.
Couple of, yeah.
Yeah, everybody got scammed. $1 billion was lost in crypto.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. I feel like,
That's
the money doesn't just
awful.
evaporate, but there was scams after scams. I remember I was doing some, it wasn't even investing. This was like degenerate gambling at this point. And they I don't know, they're just scams.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of when you really look at some of these systems, they're just big scams that were just propping up.
Well, I don't do maths. I've told you. I don't do maths. Anyway, guys, let's do right for the last sort of 20 minutes or so. Let's just have a bit of a laugh. I have to do this because it's just insane to me, and it's my birthday, so I'm allowed. Okay, I want to react. I want to react to this because I, I just don't believe the audacity of this person. Now we're over on the Rumbles, guys. We're on the
Hi, Mr.
Rumbles.
Hi, Mr.
Oh,
Snowflake. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right.
Hi, Mr. Snowflake. Re-upload from YouTube. She thinks she's clever. Okay, she did this on YouTube, and I think she must have,
Yeah, it must
she
have been
thought,
bad.
oh, oh, I know what it was. Somebody said to her that he strikes channels. Uh,
Uh,
so she thought, oh, I'll be clever. I'll be clever. I'll
uh-huh.
move it to Rumble. So anyway, I was looking at this earlier. It did make me laugh, and I thought, you know what? Let's have a look at this tonight because I just don't know how she's got the gall to say what she says. But anyway, tell me if you can hear this. All right.
His
Yeah.
girth. And
Good.
no, get your
yeah.
minds out of the gutter. I'm talking about his waistline.
Right. One thing I want you to hear. One thing I want to say is it's incredible to me how she's morphed into Negs. Just
Mhm.
listen to the way she speaks, her cadence, the vitriol. Eh,
Of
yeah,
course.
she's turned
That's she's
into him.
Mrs. Nix. Two have
Yeah.
become
Oh.
one.
So anyway, she's decided she's going to have a go at Mr. Snowflake, and also Geordie, right? And I
Okay.
think it's quite interesting how she's doing that now that Yo Mama's doing it. And
Mhm.
it's like, oh God, can you not just think for yourselves? It's like, God, how desperate. Anyway, so it just was making me laugh. What the thing
Well,
she,
you know what?
Graceful.
I was gonna say I think that she's probably always been like this because like
yeah,
when French Fry Girl was on the up and up when she first came in the girl world and everybody was flocking over to her, DC was like in her corner. When Yaba was like the queen of girl world,
Yeah.
DC was in her corner. So she just kind of butterflies around to everybody,
yeah,
whoever will kind of accept her.
yeah. Am I right in saying she tried to get into Black Twitter at one point?
Yes, and I think that is the reason why she hates me the most because Black Twitter was coming at me because like I didn't like Callie and so they were sticking up for Callie and stuff like that and Then DC has said something about like she was threatening, like, oh, because Black Twitter, they're gonna do this. So wait till I tell Black Twitter. And so one of the girls that was gunning for me, she was like the head leader of this little Black girl world thing. And this girl had called me all kinds of cocoons, called me all kinds of names, was coming after me. But I went right to her. I said, hey girl, I said, DC said that you guys are gonna go after people for her. And she started laughing like, what? And I was like, see, I said, and so basically DC blocked me on Twitter after that. I said, DC don't understand that, even though Black people are beefing, if somebody from outside is trying to use this other Black person that I'm beefing with, I'm going to tell that Black person and we going to come together and communicate. Because you on the outside, lady. You are on the outside. We Black over here. We can have our own Black arguments. We can do our Black thing, but don't think that you're going to come in between us.
Yeah. Because
like, Joey, you just
was
how
a
naive
meme?
she
It was
is.
like, we're all. Sorry, Jen.
No, I was just saying that just shows how ignorant, naive she is.
Right.
Well, no, because you have these memes like, oh, up in the club, we all fam. And it's like, then the election happened, we realized, no, everybody in the club is not family, you know?
It's like Kalari says, it's like family. Just because we're fighting doesn't mean you can come in saying stuff about us.
Right.
And that is so true.
That's what it also happened with this other girl. It was a white girl, called herself an ally, and so she was with the Black Twitter girls of Girl World. And so the Black Twitter girls, they were talking about me, and she said something about me, and they were like, "Hold up now, like we can say this shit, but you cannot say this."
And the thing is, if she was woke, she would have realized that.
Yes.
But she's not, and that's where it comes down to where it's like the performativeness, and then like wearing the blue bracelets and all of that. That's where you get called out.
Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, I know you two haven't got kids, but it's the same thing with kids. You can be calling your kid anything. I mean, I've been with friends and they've been slugging their kids off and, but I would never dream of jumping in and saying, yeah, they're right, little you just don't do that.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, as Kalari says, she got the stay in your lane, Jane talk. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that happens a lot with her. And I think it's happened a lot with her in her past as well. But she just doesn't get it. She just sticks that Roman nose up in the air and like she's little Miss Snooty. But we have to remember who she's with. Just remember who she's with, guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's carry on.
I'm not going to sit here and get on a high horse. I'm just going to roast the fuck out of him.
Okay.
Why?
She's evil. She's just evil.
And don't you think if you were going to be doing a live like this, it's all right putting a pretty little picture up, but at least put your teeth in, love. Just listen to her. She hasn't got her teeth in. I'm telling you. Okay. I'm going for it, guys. It's my birthday. I'm allowed.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Listen.
Who, Mr. Snowflake? No, Mr. Snowflake is heterosexual.
So can you hit Mr. Snowflake? She hasn't got her teeth in. She hasn't got them in.
Jan's views. They do not represent the views of Edna or Bridge. Thank you.
Edna, stop being a coward. Come on. Let me play.
Listen, I'm tired of catching all the smoke. I'm getting all these strays, Jan.
You're lucky I'm not looking at the hussy situation. I'm telling you, we haven't got time now.
Goodness.
But Lordy, Miss Claudie, that man needs a bit of reality, doesn't he?
I don't understand. How is it witness tampering if you're not directly contacting the witness?
Yeah.
It's insane. It's like every time
Where's
they
the
say
copy and her
anything.
log information? Help us out.
It's insane. Hi, groceries. I know we don't agree on some things, but I want to wish. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, darling. Yeah, we don't agree, but hey, it's the internet, and yeah, as long as you know, I don't mean any any ill will
well.
to you or anyone really. So yeah, thank you very much indeed. I really appreciate that. Yeah, my 30th, Sasha. Yeah. Yeah, and he thinks I'm sexy as well. So not only is he gay, but he's also blind. But that's all right, Sasha. That's perfectly fine.
Oh my goodness, Jen. I follow somebody on Instagram who's blind and gay.
Oh, bless them.
It's so cute because it's like his partner, like, okay, so the Instagram is of the blind partner. And it's his
Yeah.
partner filming him or whatever, doing different things, and it's kind of like teasing him because he's blind, so he's like playing little pranks on him.
I've seen that one.
Oh,
Well, like where he like
Yeah.
moved the stuff in the house, and the blind guy thought he went into the wrong house or wrong apartment or
oh,
something.
that's mean. That's
Yeah,
really mean.
couldn't be me, but it looks cute.
Yeah. Oh.
Because if
Right,
I'm
let's get.
blind, good Lord, you better make my life as easy as possible.
Oh, Sasha, it's not hilarious. It's mean. I think that's really mean. Oh, thank you, groceries. Thank you. I rather like you too. So, yeah, we're over it, darling. Don't worry about it. Right, let's get back to the witch. Here we go.
Until next time. Until next time. Highlight groceries. Until next time.
Yeah, until next time. Listen, I'm not as bad as people try and make me out to be. I'm really not. And you had you had the guts to come in, wish me happy birthday. That's fine. All done and dusted, sweetheart. Okay, all done and dusted, and I appreciate it. Right, here we go. As for Edna and Bridge, I'm still trying to get rid of them, but they still keep coming on. Right, let's listen to her, like really going for Snowflake.
Okay.
Yeah, Snowflake is looking hefty, as is Pulpy. Pulpy gained a
Oh
lot
my
of weight
gosh.
Ah,
too. I hadn't watched Pulpy in ages, and he's put on quite a few pounds.
it's so immature.
But Snowflake has really gone out of control.
What?
Oh, it's a thick cardigan. He's not hefty. All right. Well, you guys can debate his girth, and no, get your minds out of the gutter. I'm talking about his waistline. You guys.
Nobody thought of anything else other than his
Yeah.
waistline. Have you
Right?
noticed the speech? Have you noticed? She definitely hasn't got her teeth in.
Let me listen
Jen,
again. I
no
gotta
comment.
listen.
Pay attention.
Guys can debate that amongst yourselves. I will focus on his content.
Okay.
Okay.
So, anyway, Snowflake has formed an alliance with the bug-eyed goblin Geordie. And it's all very cringy and it's all very nasty. And I think it's
we can
disgusting.
speed her up a little bit.
And I
Yeah, it's a bit slow,
Thank
isn't it?
you.
What should we go? 1-5? Should we try 1-5?
Yes.
All right. Sorry, girls. Sorry.
think this man needs to be taken down a few pegs. So let's bring up this video called Emily is a Victim, Guys, Leave Her Alone. Amberlynn Reed reaction. It's only 42 minutes, so we should be able to breeze through it in what, 2 hours? I'm just joking. We're not going to be here that long. Not that long. So let's go.
Hi everybody, Amazon loaded. I haven't had any sleep last night, not an hour, not anything. So I'm extra catty today.
How are you?
So does that make for a better reaction? I don't know. Tommy Rumors.
Hi, Mike.
Her name's not Tommy. Right, we're still calling her Tommy too. I'll play along today. Tommy Rumors. 12 minutes. I assume she's just going to kick off at the audience and tell us why Jodie's the devil. Okay, make it a good one. Because I'm falling asleep straight after this. Shoot.
Hello.
Thank you.
Welcome to a new video. So this is not clickbait. Yes, I will be talking about the things that are being said about Tommy. So I actually already have a couple videos, really exciting videos and happy videos filmed. I don't have them edited yet or anything.
Oh, I have something to say to Geordie too. Since it is plainly obvious, or it appears to be more obvious that Geordie is not in a relationship, and I wonder if he ever has been in one. He made a big deal about
What?
Why say that?
Right. Like, who
Why
cares?
say that? She
Who
doesn't know
cares?
anything about him.
Yeah.
It's like, shut up, woman.
How? Okay, so the woman who wrote to Jordy, her ex-wife, the woman who left her for Tommy, she and Tommy, this was the woman who held Tommy up at gunpoint, allegedly. I mean, with a weapon. We're assuming it was a gun, right?
Right, okay. I don't know the ins and outs of this story. Do you girls
Me
know anything
either.
about it? Or
Mm-mm.
does my chat know anything about it? About Emily being
Yeah.
held in a garage or something by somebody with a weapon? I don't know. Does anyone know quickly? No clue, says Sasha.
Yeah, because originally I figured that Emily was what would it be, the perpetrator or the person.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I really have no idea.
Yeah. So I don't think we should discuss it if we don't know. So I mean, we can just say, well, we don't know about it. But I think that the point that I want to make out of just watching this is that, DC is quite obviously just on there to attack Snowflake, and I don't know why. Why? Is it because she wants
Because
the
this is
two
what
and
the
fro?
people want to see. They love to see an
Is
attack.
is it really? Is it really?
I don't think so.
Like, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, and the type of people that will want to see this bullshit and find enjoyment out of it, it really doesn't make sense. I mean, because what has Snowflake done that like deserves an attack?
Yeah,
But just make videos.
exactly.
This
And
is
also
girl
Geordie, for
world.
that matter. But you've got
Well,
people.
Jordy, I know he's gone a little too far with Amberlynn's mom. He like dug into her criminal record.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Tell us
Oh,
more about that. I didn't know
I
about
remember.
that.
I remember that.
Was that a while ago?
Yeah,
I believe so.
like when she was first caught, like on
Whenever
camera.
right. So this
When-
was what I don't know where she is now, but but I think she was in Oklahoma. This is when she was in Oklahoma.
Right. So he found out what? That the mother had a criminal record.
Well, I think we already knew that because she told us that the mom had gone to jail or prison or whatever. But
Oh, really?
he actually I
He
guess
took it
looked her
upon.
up and read the charges.
Yeah, he took it
Yeah, go
upon
ahead.
himself to look up the person. He took it upon himself to look up the detailed information.
Do you think that's wrong then?
I do
I think
because, like,
so.
yeah, this information, like she said that her mom had a criminal record. He didn't have to go and dig that stuff up. Like, what
Oh,
was
wow.
The
honestly,
thing
what was the
is,
point?
if she was saying, "Oh, my mom has done X, Y, and Z," and maybe that would lend a little bit more to him, going out of his way to find information. But I feel like anytime you have somebody who's a reactor, who's just watching the content and reacting to it, go beyond the content that's presented, that's going too far.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because I wouldn't do that. I mean, I react to people, but that's as far as it goes. I'm not going to chase down or try and find out any more information, say on DC or anything, because everything that I talk about, is what she has already spoken about, or the way she's acted online. So yeah, I guess if you're then gonna sort of, dig deep, I mean, but we don't know whether it was actually him that did it or whether it was like
Either
somebody.
way, he said it on his platform. So if he actually paid the money for the background check or not, he was the one that broadcasted it. And Amber
Yeah,
she made it be known that she did not want her mom out there like that.
yeah, okay, all right. So I understand people coming for him. Tulane, what's this? Getting clarification on the dog situation. I don't know what you mean by that. Do you mean the cat?
with Amber Lynn. I
No.
think it's Amber Lynn's
I
mom.
think I think originally with the mom, it was a situation where like there was two people with the same name who both had like different charges, and maybe there was a mix-up,
Oh,
or
okay. I mean,
maybe she got charged with something that wasn't right. I know somehow there was a miscommunication.
okay. Yeah, okay, I can understand that. Okay, so now I can understand a bit more about why some people would be coming for Geordie. Okay. Yes, Sasha, I was thoroughly spoiled. You'll have to watch the beginning of the video. I did talk about it.
Mhm.
Right, let's get on a bit more.
Apparently, Emily is Tommy's real name. Emily and this woman, whatever her name is, did not sleep in the same bed. And the excuse that was given was that the woman, the crazy one with the weapon, snored, and so they slept in separate beds. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Jordy finds this to be really aberrant. Like there's something wrong with it. Jordy, did you know that a lot of couples do not share a bed because of snoring? Do you know that this is very common? Maybe that's just in the straight world. Maybe you're unfamiliar with it, but I can tell you.
Oh my God, she's
What does the
so
straight world?
pedantic.
What does the straight world have to do with it? Oh my God.
Oh God, it's so painful
It's,
listening to her.
yeah, because it's like, does she think the gay people don't snore?
Yeah, but you know it happens in the straight world as well. It's like, oh, shut up, woman! For God's sake! Oh, look, Sasha's making a confession here. Bridget, don't laugh, but my boyfriend hates my snoring. Oh no! Yes, Kalari, good point. Yeah, she's telling on herself.
Yeah.
Personally, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, they don't share a bed. There's no way those two share a bed. There's no way,
Could you
Jose.
imagine losing as much as you have for a man and you can't even snuggle up to him at night? Like, what? What is he there for?
I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers, Edna.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh
Sorry.
dear.
I'm like, the more I learn about this couple, the more I'm like, good Lord. Like,
I
why?
know. He did a video the other day, and we're too late now. We'll be going on 10 hours. But honestly, he is just so awful. He really is.
Back in the day, like during COVID times, like I used to watch him just to laugh at him. But
Yeah.
then I seriously, I was like, this motherfucker, like he's hilarious. It wasn't that he was hilarious telling jokes, he was just hilarious to laugh at.
Oh,
But then it just got to be just like, ew. Like he's saying disgusting things about people and groups of people. He was just,
oh,
I don't want to even listen to this stupid stuff.
no.
Stupid racist stuff.
Yeah. But it's not only that, it's like his fixations, you
Yeah.
know. He gets fixated on groups, very
Yes.
sort of problematic groups of people.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Who thinks like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, and if they do think of it, how can they go the extra mile and actually talk about it in front of a camera?
Yeah.
I
Clark
just
said,
I
Clark said
blame
he went,
Trump.
he went from sideshow to oh no.
yeah. He's vile.
Mhm.
And that's what makes this union, that's all I can call it, so like peculiar to me.
Yeah. Yes. It was
It's
peculiar. It was peculiar to a lot of people. Like, why would DC? Like, what? Ugh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think, you know, listening to her here, hopefully we can get through a bit more. Listening to her here, you can hear like, I don't know whether she's changed or like you say, Bridge, maybe she was always like that.
No, she was because like she had an old blog under her DC Media Girl name, and she was the same type of vile. She was.
Oh.
And this was years ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. All right.
That a couple deciding to sleep in separate rooms or separate beds,
Oh,
oftentimes it saves a marriage. It is weirdos on the internet. It's delightful.
okay.
And I'm glad you're entertained by that. If you were to experience it, I guarantee you that you wouldn't find it terribly amusing. And if you went on stream to comment about the experience, I don't think that you would be very well put together. That is just my guess.
Okay.
And what is all this that I hear about some very randy and naughty things that were going on in your Discord? Is that true?
Oh, I forgot about this bit. Listen, I had this on and I was sort of, tidying up, doing a bit of housework, listening to it. And I actually stopped at this bit and I'm like, what? So listen very carefully, guys, what she is now accusing him of. Okay, here we go.
Is that factual and actual? Shame on you. Didn't your wife just have triplets? Disgusting.
You guys know, I love to write. I love to journal.
Hey,
I'm
Marcinez.
able to collect my thoughts so much better in writing.
Did you hear that?
Whatever. Like,
Wait, is she
Yeah,
saying that Mr. Snowflake is
basically-
married and
and
Yeah,
he's
go
showing
ahead.
his ding dong. She's saying that he's passing around pictures of his ding dong in his Discord.
Mhm.
And he's a
Whatever.
married
Oh,
man
okay.
with triplets.
Whatever.
Oh, okay. All right.
Writing versus like speaking out loud. You guys know me. Like your girl can't speak.
Speaking out loud. I was just going to say that. I didn't want to pause too much. Speaking out loud. Is that what the poem's called? I was going to say, has she done some slam poetry talk?
Speaking Up by Amberlynn Reed.
Please, slam poetry. Geordie is scum.
Well, thank you, Annie.
I have a big bum. I don't know.
The time. And
Mhm.
I have a lot of anxiety right now filming this video. And when I am anxious, my brain does not work correctly. Like words do not come out correctly. I just feel very
Well, that's because she's Portuguese. Go on.
like a lot. It just feels like a lot right now. So I decided to write like in
like
journal form, the way that I would write in my journal. And I am going to read it to you guys because
Wow, look at all the people in chat. Mr. Snowflake really brings all the girls to the yard, doesn't he? I don't understand why women in the community go gaga over this man. Is it because he's like one of the few straight men in the community? Is that why? Is it the accent? What is it about this guy?
Why do these people just think about, think with their genitalia? I don't understand that. I can honestly say I have never looked at Snowflake and I enjoy him immensely because he makes me laugh. But I have never looked at him as like a sexual being.
No, I just
So
thought the
why
quality
does
of
she-
his documentaries were nice. It
Yeah.
seemed like he.
Like I said, I thought
Listen,
his
we're
documentaries
watching
were really
people
good, but he
who
was off
point the
camera, but-
camera to the computer. So
Yeah.
somebody like Snowflake stands out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, he's getting funnier and funnier. And I enjoy his humor. That's what I enjoy. And I think his documentaries are really good as well. Like Kalari says, I like his documentaries. I don't really look at him like that. It's freaking weird. Exactly. Why would she look at it like that? It's like, yeah, I mean, that's the way her brain works. I guess.
Especially as a partner woman. Because I would understand if maybe she was looking for someone that she would,
Maybe
you know,
she
look at
is.
him like that.
She's just like, oh, he looks good. I got this balding bigot sitting next to me, but he looks kind of good. Maybe she's selling on herself a little bit and
'Cause she does-
projecting.
Yeah, because she does like British men. She said it before. She fancies British men.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, you better watch out.
Uh-huh.
People took one look at him and acted like he was Brad fucking Pitt. I don't get it.
No, they
She
didn't.
prepared a statement. As Tommy wrote this. Tommy wrote a statement because of the Geordie live.
Stuart's mom.
because I do feel very anxious and I do want to like have collective thoughts. I don't want to forget anything. And this is very important to me that I get this out in this moment. So before I read it, I just want to explain like in short form, this is about a reaction channel who was contacted by Tommy's ex-girlfriend's ex-wife. And this woman was immediately put on a pedestal and everything that she said was believed. People have taken everything that she said as gospel.
Oh, you can see she's seething. She's raging. Mate, don't dare to feed her and you don't have to do this. She's absolutely raging. Oh, she's going to defend.
Get ad-free streaming, exclusive content, and be a part of the free speech revolution. Join Rumble Premium today.
You know, I need to go back and see this asshole's commentary about Jade when Amber was dating Jade and see what he had to say, because according to these men who all seem to know better, basically every single person that Amberlynn has brought into her life has been flawed in some way. And who isn't, right? Jade was actually the most normal in terms of not wanting attention, staying off camera, holding on to her job, not stirring the pot, not DMing with people, not getting involved with Amberlynn's community, and it still wasn't good enough. So because Tommy has a fetish for big fat bitches, she needs to be punished and dragged by a bunch of men. Got it. Let's go.
I was going to be defending her serial killer girlfriend. Go on, this will be good. Go on.
As truth, because a lot of you want someone to hate, and it's easy for you guys to hate Tommy for whatever reason. You guys don't.
For whatever reason. I just said she's a serial. For whatever reason. She likes the balloon winning until they explode. For whatever reason. Is that reason? For whatever reason. You're playing dumb.
Where's the proof of that, please, sir? Would you mind telling me?
She's a feeder. She was on a feeder website. She's a feeder.
Exactly. And we saw her lying on top of this massive woman. And I mean, it's all been documented. It's all been put out there. People aren't making things up.
Right.
It's out there for everybody to see. God.
The girlfriend, fiance, whatever she was that died was already huge when Tommy met her. She was already in the
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah, and she didn't help that situation. Isn't Tommy like some kind of nurse or something? Look, I don't even follow Amberlynn, and I know this. Like Tommy was some kind of nurse, and she was on a feeder website, and she helped that woman stay the size that she was.
Yeah, absolutely.
She had already eaten herself to that weight before Tommy met her. The other one, the ex-wife of the person who was corresponding with Jordy, was also a big fatso. And let's just say,
I mean, okay. See, this is her language, okay? I think you have to look at the language she's using here, and it gets worse as she goes along. Why is she calling her like a big fatso? How can you be, speaking in favor of somebody, right? Because she's on ALR's side here, right? But she's still using very derogatory terms towards the women there. Why is she doing that?
Right.
She doesn't have to say, oh, yeah, well, she was prone to these big fatsos. Yeah, she doesn't have to say that. Just say she, to large women.
Yeah.
And I think this is where Negs is rubbing off on her. I really do. I think. And I don't think she was like that before. I don't know. You said she is.
I think that she probably was like that. Like she wasn't talking about big fatsos or anything like that. But in her private life, off of YouTube or off of social media, I believe she always talked like this. And I think that Negs just gave her the courage to say it on social media.
I think you've got a really good point there. Definitely.
Say that the woman who wrote to Jordy had a definite agenda, and I do not think that she told the whole story. I don't believe it.
So because she doesn't believe it, it's got to be true, guys. Okay? She doesn't believe it. All right.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the initial exchange of DMs, I don't believe that she mentioned the incident where Tommy was held up at gunpoint or weapon point or whatever in the garage. She didn't mention that, right? I don't think she did. She got around to that later, but not initially. I wonder why.
Know her in person like I do, and I'm telling you, she is lovable and likable, and I am happy. And
I know I haven't had much sleep, but did she just say it? My serial killer is lovable.
No, she didn't.
And I'm telling you, she is lovable and likable, and I am happy and in love with her. And I know a lot of people want to like twist.
I'm happy. 5th video in a row coming on crying. I'm really happy, guys. Oh my God, you look.
It's like really dark narrative, but I'm telling you, it's not real. So I'm sorry I couldn't be like a little more put together, and I'm sorry that I'm bad with my words. The fact that I have to.
Sir, are you happy with your wife? I'm just curious. Are you happy with your wife or not? Because why is it that you are showing your schween to your female members in your Discord? Is that true? Did you do that?
Maybe his wife wants him to be like, hey, Mr. Snowflake, please show your big schlong to all these women so that they know what I have.
Exactly, Sasha.
Yeah, no kink shaming.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're into that. But where I want to know where this witch is getting her information from. Who's feeding this information to her?
Whatever.
It's mad. And yeah, she does sound exactly like Negs there. Absolutely.
Racy little shots of yourself in your Discord. That's disgusting, sir.
Is it?
That's gross. I want to get to the bottom of this Discord.
Show it, Mr.
showing,
Snowflake. Show
incident
it. Show
because
it. Show it.
that is something that is of great interest to me. That is gross. That I don't think that even
Look, I'm going to get to the bottom of this because that's something of great interest to me. So why? Why is it of interest to you? Maybe you should
Because
be
she
looking
wants
at.
to see. That's
Yep.
why.
Yep.
It's like reverse psychology. She's trying to get it out.
Yep. Yep.
Maybe she needs to be looking a bit closer to home. Do you know what I mean? Look at that moron that you're living with. That racist piece of shit. Who's
And
like,
she was like, she said, I've seen that one. I'm not satisfied with that one. So let me see it. Let me see it, Mr. Snowflake.
Oh God! Do you know? I think I'm the only person, sort of, girl world adjacent, that hasn't seen Negs's Pee-wee. I didn't see it. Did either of you girls see it?
No, I haven't
see
seen
it.
it.
No, I haven't seen it either.
Not that I want to, because I understand. Well, I think we can guess what it looks like.
No,
imagine
don't guess.
it's
No, I don't want to
that
guess.
colour.
No, stop.
This
Stop.
color.
Stop. Play the video. Play the video.
You're gonna make me nauseous.
Play the video,
Garlic
Jan.
bread stoop to that level. But let's continue.
Literally look like this and read to you guys, but it's what is going to work best for me, which I have done this before, and it's usually only during like super like anxiety inducing situations for me, and I do it in my real life as well.
I don't know
There are
boobies.
a multitude of times in my life where instead of like speaking to someone, I will write something and then I'll read it off to them. It's helpful, it's therapeutic. I learned it years and years
Oh
ago.
my God, just tell us the slam poetry. Come on, you've been talking for 2 minutes about what. Come on, tell us what you written, what you wrote it. I think it'll be, but it's by her and Emily. I bet they both come up with it.
Oh, actually in therapy, probably like when I was like 17 or something. And ever since then, it has greatly helped me. But I am sorry that I will be
Well. Screenshots leaked, huh?
Somebody called Brenner has put, it is LOL. Screenshots have been leaked multiple times or multiple places. Okay. All right. Well, I haven't seen any. Have any of you seen it? Not that I'm interested. I don't believe a word of it. But
I don't really. If it's true, I honestly don't even really care.
No.
Listen, I'm not in the Discords. I'm not on Twitter or X or what have you, so I wouldn't know.
You just stay over there relaxed, Edna. You do that.
Yeah, I'm just
So
chilling
you're
on YouTube.
Mr. Snowflake Jr. out in your Discord, showing these women in the Discord, your member, your old chap, if you will. And you have the unbelievable gall, as a married man whose wife just gave birth to triplets, and you have the unmitigated gall to sit here judging someone whose fetish is for big fat bitches. Do we have that straight? Is this something?
See?
Because look, listen. Okay, this is like she's like, oh, you're judging somebody that has a fetish for big fat bitches. I mean, like showing your penis if he did it, it's not killing anybody, but to feed people.
Okay.
What?
No, because there was wasn't it like Ted Bundy? He got caught for like a traffic offense for speeding or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like people don't always get caught for the big, serious crime. They get caught because they're doing like little, less serious stuff, but still enough to get arrested or what have you. So I get what you're saying. Like that's his business, what he wants to do with his member, his body, and everything. But it does speak to his character as a married man with a family that he would be doing something like this while trying to serve as some kind of moral, whatever, critiquing Amber.
Is he serving as like a moral authority, or is he just reacting to somebody on the internet?
I think it's implied in girl world that you're reacting from a place of superiority.
But that's a ridiculous assumption, though, isn't it? He's not come on saying, I'm the king of girl world, so I should be treated in such a way. Is he?
Because like when I first happened upon him, it was basically he was doing the documentaries talking about these people and what they've
Mm.
done. It wasn't really from a place of judgment. It was just documenting what they've done.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think some people get confused between the difference between being judgmental or doing a reaction. Because, you know, in order to do, what do they want you to do? They want you to do a reaction and look at it from every single angle. That's not possible.
I mean, I think it's like
No, they don't want it through every single angle. They want it through the angle of being judgmental, of like tearing people apart. It's like, look, you can take Hussey, for example, with his review of Rev and Shanny. He wanted to start off being more fair, to be like, hey, you know, I don't know you guys, I'm just, you know, getting into your content X, Y, and Z. And the audience was not having it.
No, but then I think there was, yeah, I think
Oh, they're coming for me.
Hussey acted in a very similar way to the way the slow one does. He jumped in there thinking, oh, you know, I can get a lot of views talking about these two people. And it all went horribly wrong because then he found himself smack bang in the middle. And then they turned on him. So he lost what he thought he was going to have, which was some sort of, you know, he had like the Batmobile or the backbone, you know, the sort of contact with them, the direct contact. And he lost that very soon after he'd started. And that was because he wasn't genuine. You know, if he was genuine, he wouldn't have then have been slating them off. He had to choose. What he was doing was he put himself in a situation where he was actually opposing what his audience wanted. All they wanted was to hear him going off on them. That's all they wanted, because that's all Hussey's good at. He's just slugging off people and screaming at them and everything.
So not talking about Hussey, but I was thinking that like there's a line between just reacting to a person and giving your opinion about the things that they've done, and then maliciously going after them.
Yes.
So there's that line that you can cross.
Yes.
And Girl World many times goes into the malicious, the vile territory.
Oh yes. Yes. And I think that's where it becomes really, really toxic. And although some people, you know, like the slow one, try and say, oh, well, I'm only doing it because, you know, I'm pointing out the hypocrisy. No, you're not, because you're then aligning yourself with people that are so problematic. There's thousands of people that want to see them torn down a strip or two. So you can't stand them and say, well, everybody's wrong and I'm right.
Yeah.
You know,
he doesn't get that. Sorry. It's
No,
like
go on,
he has
Edna.
to be, it's like there's a reason why he's attracted to even being the king of Girl World. And it's like, I think that's the part he doesn't get yet, where he thinks he's separate somehow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
To even come in with that notion, I mean, did he? We don't know whether he actually started or that was his initial goal, was to come in and play devil's advocate, because I remember
I think it was his initial goal.
Into it.
Yeah, it was his initial.
You know, but he gives him too much credit. He gives himself too much credit because things have fallen into place and he's been able to push certain things into place. But your mama is not as smart as he's trying to make it seem like, especially with this like Kalari situation where he's like, oh no, I knew, I saw it way. He didn't see the situation happening.
Yeah,
it was like once it was rolling.
He's full of shit on, but he's full of shit on that aspect, like because he thinks that he's Nostradamus and can see into the future or whatever. But I think that he did come into, I think he did come into Girl World, and he could give that unbiased perspective because he really didn't know anybody. But then he started making online friends, making alliances, and things of that nature, which made him biased.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I believe. And when we used to go in there, well, I should only speak for myself, but when I used to go in there, it soon became apparent to me that he was trying to play devil's advocate, but he really wasn't bright enough to do that.
Yeah.
And because in order to do that, you've got to put up a decent argument, or a decent perspective. And he wasn't able to do that because, for one thing, he'd be coming on and he'd be, he tried to hide the fact that he was defending them. But it became apparent in the end that it was just silly. It was just silly for him to do that because people in his own chat were saying, well, what about this? Why are you not recognizing that? You can't come on and say that person's vile because they're talking about somebody because they're fat, when in actual fact that's not what they're doing. If you look at the big players like Snowflake and also Karina and Gorlick and the other big players, they're not coming on and saying, oh, you're just a big fat waste of time. They're not doing that. They're speaking on them, but they're trying, like with Kalari, she's also large, but she's showing that it is capable, it is possible to exercise, but you have to build it up. So Kalari's different in that way than, say, Snowflake is. But it doesn't mean that they're just coming on to attack her because she's fat. I don't believe that. I don't think it's got anything to do with their size. I think it's the
But I think that's a valid argument because she's supposed to be a weight loss channel, or like weight is a part of her content. So I think commenting on her weight in and of itself is not the issue. It's the vileness in which they do it. Because like I watched the creator Kicking Geeks. She talks about her weight and or maybe not foodie. She doesn't talk about foodie, ALR, but it's not in a vile way.
Yeah, but then I don't think that I don't think that I don't watch Geordie, but I don't think that Snowflake, I don't think Karina, I don't think Kalari I think Kalari's slightly different because Kalari has lived that life. Kalari is living that life. Okay, so
Right. She comes from a
I'm more
different
likely.
perspective.
Yeah, so Kalari's going to see it from a different perspective and possibly feel angered at somebody who is showing her in a bad light as well by saying, like, not all big women are, such a waste of time and make poor decisions in their life. There's different ways of looking at things, but you get somebody like the slow one who comes on and tries to tar everybody with the same brush, and that's when I think he's just shown himself up for being completely ignorant of the way people look at things. And it's like when I remember when we first started talking about Kalari, Edna, a few times you sort of said, yeah, well, maybe people think that she's making pops at her because she's doing this. And I remember trying to explain it to you but I don't believe that she's doing that. I know she gets angry at her sometimes and, calls her the heifer. I call her the heifer. But it doesn't mean to say, just because I label her the heifer, it doesn't mean to say that I'm a hater. It's just, I think she deserves that name. I'm sorry, but I think she does. But I would never call Kalari a heifer because Kalari is out there doing something, trying to, improve her life and working on it. So
that's the point, Jen. There's people that look at Kalari and they don't see any difference between her and Foodie.
Yeah, well,
So
they
they're
should.
like, who are you to say
That means
anything?
that they're not listening. That means that they're not listening. It's like when I was talking, I watched that video with Barley the other week, and we did speak about it, and I couldn't believe that Barley, who has a a mental illness, supposedly, quite obviously has mental health issues, was not listening to a word that Barley said. That Kalari said. She wasn't listening to a word that she said. So, Kalari's more than a large woman. Kalari's, an intelligent woman. She's a writer. She's somebody that's, struggled with her mental health. She's struggled with a lot of things. Why can't people see that? But we don't see that, or I don't see it. You correct me if I'm wrong. I do not see that with Amberlynn Reid or Foodie. I don't see that. I see
Part of the issue with these people, they don't understand their own mental health. So I don't think they realize how crazy they really are.
See, I don't think they are that crazy. I'm sorry, I don't. I really don't.
What do you think it is?
I think they've found a way. I think they maybe, like, as Bridget said, I have to think about that. Maybe there are some issues as to why they've eaten, that much to be that weight. But I don't think, they throw out all these serious mental health issues, and yet, in my eyes, they don't demonstrate it in that way. They don't, I don't look at Amberlynn Reid and think, yeah, she's got BPD, or yeah, she's
Right, that's the
bipolar.
difference between how it might be manifested in different people. Or it's like, how do you perform illness for someone?
I think also that, I think that they do have issues, mental health issues, but the difference is that they don't seek the help that they clearly need. They want to deal with it on their own, just like Foodie Beauty with her diet. So I'm going to go the vibration route. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fast. No, you need to seek professional help.
Yeah. See, I think
because the help hasn't helped them. So they see other things that have helped people. So I think they say, well, let me try this. Let me try that.
I think the help that hasn't helped them because they haven't followed through with the help. Like, then maybe they'll go once or twice, and they think that after that first session or second session, like, they should see a whole bunch of progress that should happen, but they're not seeing all this progress. They don't realize that it's a process.
I personally don't think that they seek mental health help at all. And I think one of the reasons they don't is because, or maybe they're not aware. I can only talk from my opinion. I believe that they don't really have mental illness, especially Amber. I don't think she does. I think quite possibly Foodie may. She may, I don't know, maybe bipolar. I don't know.
I can't see how you can't see that. Like, I don't follow Amber like that, but I can't see how you can't see that she has some mental health issues going on, solely because of the things that she experienced as a child and with her mother, and not being with her mother. She didn't get that nurturing or caring. She hoarded
in the foster
food.
care system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? Amber?
Amber, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
Just
okay.
the ALR. I think people don't realize her body to be that big. Like, you gotta think, like, the pain in her knees and her ankles, her, like, just everything. She probably can't breathe. That's got to be scary. Like, I couldn't imagine. Like, I was nowhere near as big as she is, and I remember how bad I felt when I was at my worst. It's like you're so disconnected.
Yeah. Maybe I need to educate myself more on it. But I mean, I can only say, speak on what I see. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
That's what Kalari said. Childhood neglect can lead to mental trauma, which goes into unhealthy coping. I was just talking about this today over a class, a class that let me just say attend. And we were talking about ACEs, which is the adolescent trauma that you go through, because you know, during childhood, that is supposed to be your safe space where you have someone to go to, have someone to talk to make you feel safe. And I don't think that Amber actually had that.
Mm-mm.
The adverse childhood experiences, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you feel the same with Foodie? Do you think she
Yes.
never had that?
To a different extent too, because even though her mother was there, her mother sent her off. She didn't have her father. She didn't have the comfort that she needed as a child.
There's a story of her asking her babysitter for like a 16 piece of fried chicken or something crazy, like a 16 piece bucket of fried chicken.
Oh, that is mad. That is mad. Okay, well, listen, guys, we're 2 hours in, so I think we're gonna call it a night. But it's been really, really interesting. I wanted to get through a little bit more of that, but never mind, we can't. But it's nice. But you know, it's just nice that we can chat. So I mean,
let me just say too, because we only got through 2 minutes of the DC video, but I just want to say too that
was
like
plenty.
What?
It was plenty of DC. Yeah, 2 minutes of DC is plenty.
Shout out to your girl DC, but that was enough.
You're right.
I wanted to say too that I think that maybe, Jan, you see it in a different way too, because even though you went through your experiences, you basically overcame, you conquered, and all of that. And I think we've had this conversation before, but other people may not be as resilient as you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know, and I think that's quite possibly why I can't. You know, I just find it really difficult to see it in them. But yeah, I respect what you're saying, and I agree with you. You know, everybody's perception is different. You know, that's what makes us human beings, isn't it? And I think also you have to throw into the mix, especially with these girls, the fact that they've found a way of making money. By
That's what I was just thinking. You have to factor in YouTube in their lives with all these issues as well. It's like, imagine where you would be if you had such an easy stream of income where you don't have to clock into a job for 8 hours.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Kalari. Yeah, you have a wonderful weekend, darling, and you're welcome up when you're ready. You're welcome to come and join us whenever you like. So Tulane has stuck with us the whole time. Thank you. You poor thing. We've nearly finished. ALR has a history of lying about diagnosis after diagnosis. I wonder what mental illnesses she really has. That's a really good point. And I think that's what I feel as well. And, you know, one of my pet peeves is people that I believe are lying about their mental illness. I just can't.
Doesn't ALR
100% her fault.
Doesn't ALR have like a history of going to like these quack doctors, like these pill mills? Because I remember at one point in time she went to some place and they just gave her pills for whatever right away.
I heard something about that.
I don't know. But I was gonna say, I feel like a lot of times it's the medical professionals that she's going to where, like, if they told her X, Y, or if she's telling us that she was diagnosed with X, Y, and Z, you know, maybe she's using the term loosely or what have you. But I don't, like, I believe that somebody told her that she has it. You know, because people look at certain people and they'll say, oh, it's this or it's that. Because I don't think people really factor in, like, the person that's doing the evaluation, like, they're different biases.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder what happens. I wonder if, you know, it's quite interesting because both things are completely different. Obviously, you've got the mental health aspects that, should be looked into with both these two girls. But you've also got the obesity aspect that needs to be looked at. And I wonder, like, if they just go to their GP, what the GP thinks. You know, well, shall we deal with the obesity first, or shall we deal with the mental health first?
Yeah.
see what
I
I'm
think it's
getting at?
one and the same. Because to be mentally healthy, you got to be like what hydrated. You got to move your body. You have to
Mhm.
eat healthily. You know what
Yeah,
I
but
mean? Like
isn't
so,
that
the
a bit
things
like
that's
the, the chicken and the egg thing?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
a doctor, I'm saying,
either
if
you got a
somebody,
fried chicken or you got an omelet. Either way, you eating. That's what I'm saying. With them, they're in such dire straits that they just
yeah,
need to do. They just need to act.
yeah, I agree. Well, look, girls, I'm gonna go. Thanks for the great conversation. It was good and it was nice to share. I think there's like 15 minutes left of my birthday when I came
Oh
live.
no. You
So,
got you have like 6 hours over here.
oh, just
Yeah.
as well I'm not over there.
4 hours here.
I'm
Yeah.
about ready for bed. So thanks for coming up, and yeah, it was a great chat again tonight. And I also want to say thank you to everybody in the chat, Kalari, Sasha, Tulane, and I know there were a few others that came in as well. So I want to say thank you so much indeed to everybody. And you make sure you all have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you next week. So just be careful out there. You take care of yourselves out there, because trust me, it's a rotten old world. So until the next one, bye bye for now.